So I'm gonna need a lot of crowd participation though. You don't have to, if you don't want to, because like I'm not your dad, but it would help. Basically, just give me a beat if you can do that, and then when I put my hands down like this, you stop, and then I'll do my spoken word piece, and then every time you hear me say like I have a hook and it goes, don't do it, Cinderella, don't do it. So I'm gonna say it 2 times total, and every time I start saying it, you can join in with me because I want you to be saying it. I'm gonna stop saying it, so everybody just join in and be like, don't do it, Cinderella, like with no passion or loud, doesn't like that. And then that's it. So you ready? Okay. This half room, if you guys want to stomp for me, it's gonna be like the whole sound. This side's gonna clap, this side's gonna stomp. It's gonna be like boom, boom, clap, boom, boom, clap. So this side's gonna sound like, and this side's gonna clap. Okay. So that's it. You guys do that for me. Ready? Start it. Okay, wait. I don't like that. It's too much rhythms. Okay, we'll scratch that. Do something else. Give me a beat. No. Okay, forget it. Just one. Alright. I could paint the sun with the amount of blood that came gushing from her gums. My father burned a hole in the one that he thought would bear his son, so young and dumb. Love birthed a daughter, and he left her. She looked just like the mother she came from. Now I can let the storm weather, feelings of whether I should stay or be washed away like rain does good weather on days the sun acts clever, falsely promising forever. But I was young. And people always say that is an excuse. Let me rephrase it in a way so that you understand the abuse. I was numb. And don't confuse that for being dumb, because as a youngin', I was smarter than what most of you become. We call it love. And I never knew what that was. Mom and Dad had a version, but we called that tough because it was rough. Sounded something like illegal snuff. Shit was crazy. Those needles never gave them enough. The world seemed shaky. And hidden in the shadow of my mother's tears, I never was allowed the time to cry, give in to my fears, and that got me into trouble. Never got the attention I deserved, so I sought it from a boy who was somewhat of a rebel. We met at a time when we needed to confide in one another, and it was right because it was healing after the fight we had to endure. And just to be sure, we never left each other's side, so we were traumatized when it all tore apart. And now it's all just scars. It took me a while to accept the fantasy had gone, replaced by reality, the mirror of my family. I always told myself that karma had it after me, but I wasn't my mom. He would never put his hands on me. Little did I know it was her in the mirror I see. And she's still crying. Her barely silent sobs soak her sheets with sympathy, so they seem to be her only savior as she sinks in them. Mom, I'm sorry. But I cannot bear to be there for her, not this time especially. Understanding, there's none left in me. How many times can she prick that swollen vein till no blood remains? That needle is heavy like a machete, and we are all on the slaughter list. My little brother is crying, my sister barely crawling, my mother still wallowing in the puddle of false hopes. My father left us with his temple way too quick to wait for this. A bunch of no good kids to get a grip. I've grown up enough to call it quits, but still too young to admit he's a piece of bloody fingertips and silent screams, and not enough to let the pain be seen. Crawling to the window to wave hello to the neighbors with a plastic smile. Even with the opportunity, I won't say who doctored that up for me. Living in a behind closed doors while everybody acts like they never heard that saying before. This life is sick, and there's only one way to deal with this. Mom's got a whole bag full of unlabeled shit. What if I open my mouth to see how many I can fit? They tell me don't do it, Cinderella, don't do it.
Don't do it, Cinderella, don't do it. Don't do it, Cinderella, don't do it.
I guess because I'm not white with blonde hair, rocking Abercrombie bitch like it's all there is. I cannot be accepted by those that live in the outskirts of my apartments. I've done more than enough to just fit in. I've even perfected the language that like I thought you would like. Even though I know that this sounds worse than talking ghetto, because like there isn't even an established syntax here, like, you know? Either way, the rude sarcastic comments come and go. I try so hard to keep my tongue back by my molars, but the world weighs heavy on my shoulders. Cracks in the concrete walls of my bedroom cannot even closely resemble the way my nerves splits when these people pretend to know who I am or what I go through. Little Spanish girl on the menu, yeah. In a room full of people, I'm just the one they roll their eyes to, as if I even tried to attempt to be you. I was raised to know that love has no color, but since everyone has crayons and I'm just a blank poster, I guess it's up to them who wants me dead or alive. Fuck it, I'll decide. Hand me the razor hidden at your side. They tell me don't do it, Cinderella, don't do it.
Don't do it, Cinderella, don't do it.
Do it, Cinderella.
Don't do it.
These are words of an anxious, naive teenager. Too young to care, but too old to be without consequences. Too young to drink, but old enough to serve the thirst of the men that belong behind fences. She's got a body like a hood type model, knows how to play dumb when she's supposed to. spit in front of those she knows to. Underestimated like a child, but smart enough to use that to her advantage. The heart of a lion and the soul of a savage. Intricately designed inside and way too complicated for any man to manage. It's as if she'll be alone forever. But truthfully, everybody's whispering, don't do it, Cinderella. Well, I'm not a damsel in distress, or anybody's princess. This ain't a love story, and I would never be a victim of a one-night stand. If a female doesn't like me, it's because she checked everybody but her man. I'm 19, and I've always been angry. With this mic, I express it thoroughly to show that these emotions make for good poetry, and I never let